All right, so objective 4, how long will it take to implement the master facility plan? So I want to show you this timeline and put it in perspective to you if you have kids. So again, this is hypothetical. If we were successful in November of 2024, we would begin that design process immediately. A couple things that have changed through this process that we are a part of. In previous years, you would wait to pass your bond issue, then you would go out and spend time researching to identify your architect, and then after you identify your architect, you would move forward to try to identify your construction manager at risk, or your construction manager. What has changed over the years is we want to try to get ahead of that. So we've already identified our architect, SHB Leading Design, and we are also, by the end of this week, we will have selected our construction manager. So the purpose behind that is to just get in front of this. We know that if our community starts paying for this, we want to start opening these schools as soon as possible to get this moving forward. So to put in perspective, if you have a 4th grader today, the 4th grader under this timeline would be a freshman when that new high school would open. Obviously, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, those students today would all be in our high school. Our 7th graders today would be the first class to graduate from our new high school. A couple things as we talk about timeline. Our goal is during that year that we would be opening these, that all the work in our other buildings would also be completed. We do not see this as a stair-stepped approach, meaning we're going to move a group of students to a high school, then we're going to start renovating the middle school, the current high school to become the middle school. Those renovations have to happen at the same time. So the summer that we would see would be the 2030 school year when those would open. So August of 29, or maybe it's September of 29, that we would open, all those changes would happen, and that would be cutting the ribbon to move forward in this new design. So you can kind of see how those things break down. One of the biggest pieces is obviously these schools are not the schools. This is our community schools. So should we move forward with this, we will be asking our community, just as you're here tonight, we will be asking our community to come in and provide feedback on design. What are things that we want in this design for our community? What do you want to see on campus? What does that look like? Those kind of pieces. So that picture you see in the upper right-hand corner, that says the class of 2033. That feels so far off. That those were 3rd graders last year, those are this year's 4th graders, and those students will be our freshmen in this building. A couple things I do want to touch on before I move off of this. Just hearing some of my colleagues talk, one of the things that we've been asked is, this high school, is it not serving the purpose, and why would you use it as a middle school if it's not serving the purpose? This plan is designed totally to alleviate capacity issues within the district. It is not a high school issue, but when we met with those 60 individuals and we received feedback from our community wanted an opportunity for all kids to be able to experience something. They didn't want an elementary school and a middle school to be built to alleviate capacity. They wanted something that all students can go through and experience. So that's how we landed on the design of the high school. When we talk about that space that Tyler had up, that site concept, we've had a number of individuals say, why would you build all the facilities that you need, the sporting events, the theater, when you have that here on this campus? And it's really 2 reasons. If you walked in tonight early, you saw our flag corps in the cafeteria. That was not planned. I just want you to know that was not planned. I did not know they were going to be out there, but that is a space where they're trying to practice. And if you walked over to the soccer field, we had a soccer game going on. The campus is alive with what's going on, but we have very limited space. So for us, that's number one, is to try to be able to provide our students with as much space as we can. In our high school, we have just over 50% of our kids are involved in extracurricular activities, whether that's a sport or they're tied to music. So our kids are very involved. We know how important that is to our community. Secondly, obviously, location. We do not want to be transporting kids from our high school to go to practice. We want our kids to stay on campus. We know that'll be a safe environment for them as well.